Welcome and thanks so much for joining us here on the Owatonna Today Show. It is Friday, May 30th, of kind of a short week for a lot of people, depending on your work schedule, with the Memorial Day holiday on Monday, which we trust was a good one for one and all. We, of course, on Owatonna Today can be seen 6 days a week on Charter TV and also on Blip TV, on YouTube, and then Facebook, which is a great way to like us and then get updates of the shows as they become available. As always, we mention to you that either for show supportership, which we're going to be acknowledging some of those, or for ideas about the program, please get a hold of Leanne, the show producer. She can be reached by cell phone at 390-5751 or just email owatonnatoday@charter.net. And of course, we'd be nowhere without our show supporters. They include our premier supporters, City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, the Owatonna Public Utilities, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, United Way of Steele County. Primary supporters are Amy Swain Hearing Centers and Little Theater of Owatonna. And then our interlude supporters include Abraham Consulting Technologies, Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Glenn Mager and Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Clare Bridge and Sterling House, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher and Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, the Owatonna Business Incubator, Owatonna Foundation, Profinium Financial, R&K Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. And of course, as always, we encourage you to thank these businesses for bringing you the Owatonna Today Show and patronize them and their organizations as well. Both businesses and organizations we have as a part of our supporters. Again, interested in show supportership? Get a hold of Leanne. We're going to take our first break for the day on this Friday, May 30th, and we'll be back with Senator Vicki Jensen. We'll be talking about what's been happening in session. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
When using a fire extinguisher, we suggest using the pass system. Pull the pin at the top of the extinguisher that keeps the handle from being accidentally pressed. Aim the nozzle toward the base of the fire. Squeeze the handle to discharge the extinguisher. If you release the handle, the discharge will stop. Sweep the nozzle back and forth at the base of the fire. After the fire appears to be out, watch it carefully since it may reignite. If you have the slightest doubt about whether or not to fight the fire, get out and close the door behind you. This has been a safety message from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show on this Friday, May 30th, and Senator Vicki Jensen joins us. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing really well.
I trust you had a great Memorial weekend.
I did. I was in a parade in Faribault, and then I came back for the memorial service here in Owatonna.
Well, it was a busy day for you then, but a memorable one, and as it should be for
That's
Memorial
right.
Day.
That's
yes.
right.
We wanted to talk a little bit about, and we were just chatting, 10 minutes is never long enough
That's
to talk
true.
about what happened in session, but session is
Right.
done for this year.
Right.
And we wanted to talk about some of the notable things that you were either involved in or some high points, hopefully no low points, but things that are happening, things that are on
Sure.
people's radar. I know there were a number of bills that you wanted to mention.
Well, this is the second year of the biennium, and usually it's a policy year. Even though we had a shorter session, we didn't start till the end of February. It's actually come to be known as one of the most productive. We had a supplemental budget, so we had, or a surplus budget, so we had a supplemental budget bill, which we normally don't have in this year of the biennium. We had 2 tax bills that we took up, which normally doesn't happen either. And then we did the bonding bill. So there were a lot of really big things that happened this session.
Wow, that is a lot to accomplish.
It was a lot to accomplish, especially in a short session. But because it was a policy year, we did take up some bigger policy issues as well, which for myself, I did have a pretty productive year, too. And one of the tax bills, I had change in education funding. That last year we created a donut hole, basically, for some of the school districts that have less than 2,000 students. and they couldn't go out to the voter like they could in the metro area. So I wrote a bill and got it in the tax bill that now all districts across the state of Minnesota have the same authority.
Okay.
So that was a very big deal for me to get that in the tax bill.
Yep.
Yep, and we were able to repeal some of the business-to-business taxes, which I worked on during the interim and during session. Another big thing that I took on was a railroad and pipeline safety bill. Our railroad use of carrying hazardous materials has increased about 40%.
Really?
Yes, because of things, crude coming in from Canada, and we do have, of course, North Dakota. Some of that material is coming through Minnesota as well on rail and pipeline.
Larger amount is being transported than via rail.
That's correct.
And there have been some accidents or
and just
near
recently,
accidents that have...
Just recently there was an explosion in one of the pipelines. And what this does is it has the pipelines and the railroads put in $2.5 million to combined. It includes how many rail cars they do and miles, and how many miles of pipeline they have across the state determines what they put into. And what that money does is it's given to the state of Minnesota to provide training, resources, and equipment to handle when an accident should happen.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And that made it through?
It did make it through, and it was signed into law. It was very important to me. My dad was a volunteer fire chief for a number of years, and he always said, they're the first responders. They're the ones that show up at a scene, something like that. So getting that training and those resources are vital for those first responders to be safe and to know what to do when they get there.
Yeah, and obviously a very, very volatile situation when you're dealing with chemicals and things.
And it also added an inspector at the department so that they can do some more inspections on the rails to make sure that the rails are safe.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank
That does
you.
sound like a very productive thing for you and for overall. Medicinal marijuana has been on kind of high on everyone's radar.
That's correct. It was a bill that was out there for a while, and Minnesota's been having a conversation about it. But we thought that the bill wasn't going to go anywhere, and it just kind of stalled. And the author in the House decided to change her language. Excuse me. To kind of match what the governor said, that he was on the side of law enforcement, that he wanted to make sure law enforcement was okay with whatever came through. And so they reduced and narrowed the scope of the bill quite a bit, and we did the same in the Senate, and we were able to pass a bill out of the Senate and out of the House. And I don't even know for sure if it's been signed yet by the governor, but he has indicated that he likes it a lot better now.
But he would.
Yeah.
Any issues or problems or things, the surprises that happened there for you, or how do you feel about going forward?
Well, originally I was not in favor of it. I didn't want people to smoke it. I didn't want it to get in the hands of youth. I didn't want people growing it on their own in their backyards. I didn't want a lot of distribution points. And those were some of the things that came out.
Let's be clear that medicinal marijuana is not the same as street marijuana. And I think everybody thinks that. It's like, well, that stuff you smoke can be used for medicinal purposes, when that's really, if you dig into it, that's not the case.
That's correct. And the thing that I really didn't know, and I was surprised that I didn't, is that the reason that this can't be prescribed by a doctor, and we can't do this through that same process that we do other medications, is because of the Controlled Substance Act at the federal level. It's actually illegal for doctors to do any kind of prescribing of, I think there are 5, and cannabis is one of those. We can't even study it. We can't even study its effects. Really? So that's why there are 20-some states that have decided that people are getting some medical benefit out of this, so we have to figure out how we can get enough states to figure out how to get doctors able to talk with their patients and get this to them for some relief from their medical conditions. You hear a lot about Colorado and some of those states, but the way that they did is they put it on the ballot and people voted for that. So there wasn't a good foundation legislatively. They had to figure out how to make it happen once it passed. So the other states all did what we did, where you statutorily and legislatively take a look at what's the best thing for all Minnesotans, including the concerns that law enforcement had on that particular issue. So there are going to be 2 growers of the cannabis in the state. And then there'll be probably, I think it's down to 10 distribution centers. Your doctor, you have to work with your doctor. You have to try other medications first before you get certified that, yep, you've tried these other things and that you have one of the conditions. I think that's the one thing I'm a little disappointed with, is we really narrowed the conditions that are available for people.
Okay.
You
think too narrow?
Well, one of the things is post-traumatic stress disorder was one that they took out, that you don't qualify, and the extreme nausea. So somebody with cancer that has the extreme nausea, and this has been helping them with that, they were taken out too.
Okay, interesting. 'Cause
yeah.
I would have thought that would have been, well, at least that's one of the ones that I hear about that would seem to have pushed this through.
That's correct, and it's a lot of people.
Okay.
We did set up a task force, though, to take a look at how we set this up and see if there's some changes that we can make. And now that we have a good foundation and we've addressed some of the concerns of law enforcement, then hopefully we'll be able to bring some of those people back in.
Okay, so obviously still some more conversation about it. And
Absolutely.
I'm sure your constituents are talking to you about it and finding out some of these facts that have
That's
come
correct.
out of session, and then figuring out, or comments or suggestions that they would like to pass forward to you. I mean, everyone has concerns. It's
Absolutely.
a big change. So
Absolutely.
I know, again, I said that's kind of high on a lot of people's radar for any number of reasons, because they have someone who they feel medicinal marijuana would be of great benefit, or because they hear the word marijuana and they just say no.
Yeah. And there are families in this district that have separated, and that was surprising to me too, because I just didn't know. So we've now have something available for them so that they can stay together and try to figure out how they're going to handle the medical condition that they're dealing with, and hopefully this will help those families
as it goes forward.
Yeah.
I know that there's continual talks about Highway 14.
That's correct.
And will continue to be, correct? So what are some of the things being discussed right now?
Well, one of the things that happened this last session is I fought really hard to try to get some cash into corridors of commerce. And the reason we need cash is because you can't use bonding money to purchase land right away. So we need to buy right away in order to put the new lane and extend that all the way to Dodge Center. It was a long, hard fight. We got it. I got it in the Committee on Transportation. They went to Finance Committee. They took it out and put it into bonding. So then we had to go to bonding and try to explain why we need cash there. And it went back. We got it back into the finance bill. So there is some cash available for districts to purchase land. And when the stimulus came out in 2008, Minnesota did all the shovel-ready projects. So shovel-ready means you've gotten the soil studies done, you've got the EIS studies done, and you've purchased the land.
Okay.
So this is a big, big help for Highway 14, because we wouldn't qualify for corridors of commerce if we didn't get some money.
Okay.
And Commissioner Zelli, I've spoken with him quite a few times, and he agrees that we need to figure out a way to make sure that those projects are shovel-ready once we get some more money into corridors of commerce.
Okay. Boy, will it someday be nice. I can't even tell you. How long have most of us been hearing Highway 14 been talked about, and there's still these little pieces
long time
that just need to get done, and it will
Yeah.
be so nice when they finally do. So we'll look forward to hearing more from you as that progresses, and you're involved
Absolutely.
in meetings and talks, and I know we'll be hearing from other folks as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully with good news for our area.
Well, the next session will be a concentration on transportation, because
Okay.
we really didn't take it up this session with everything else. So you'll hear a lot about transportation in general.
Okay.
And
that will be one of
next
the things
session.
that comes up. Okay.
That's correct.
Good to know. We'll be talking transportation, and we'll be talking to our legislators, our representatives, and our senators like yourself. So I know we've got your contact information on there, and as all of our elected representatives, I know that you are very willing and anxious to talk to folks in your constituency and find out what they are thinking and feeling, so that you can go and do the best job you
Yeah,
can.
and that's why I hold Second Saturday with your senator every second Saturday of the month. I'm in Owatonna at 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 at the Elks Club.
Very
If people
nice.
want to stop down and let me know what's on their mind, I would love to hear
Chit-chat.
from them.
All
Yes,
right, very
absolutely.
nice. Vicki, thank you so much for joining us and
Sure.
giving us an update. And again, I know we'll be talking to you in the future. Thanks again.
Great.
We'll take a break for our show supporters, and we'll be back, and we'll be talking with Jonny Bird.
Hi, my name is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance. We're here to handle all your insurance needs. We are a very proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Have you talked to your teen about marijuana lately? Maybe you should. Regular marijuana use can sap a teen's motivation to learn. Users do not live up to their potential and drop out of positive activities. Marijuana affects memory and learning and stays in your system for weeks. Marijuana also affects judgment and perception. Reaction time when driving is reduced by 41% after smoking 1 joint and 63% after smoking 2, affecting the safety of your teen and other drivers on the road. You need to talk to your teen about the effects of marijuana use. It's not just a harmless high. For more information, please contact the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson with the Owatonna Business Incubator. We're here to help small businesses start and to grow. We're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome to Bremer Bank. I am Jason Iberg.
And I'm Shannon Pedersen.
Bremer is a full financial services bank.
We invite you to stop by Bremer Bank and experience the Bremer difference.
You are always welcome at Bremer.
Hello, I'm David Einhaus with the Owatonna Foundation. Thank you to all of our donors who have helped make Owatonna a better place to live. Will you join us today with a financial gift? Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back on this Friday, May 30th, and we are here on the Owatonna Today Show with Jonny Bird. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good.
We were reminiscing just a little bit. We seem to remember capturing an interview. We came to see you in Ellendale on location when you were just kind of, the business was kind of in its infancy, I think.
Well, not necessarily the business. This I think will be our 19th year with Birdland Productions.
Oh, never mind then.
But the dueling pianos, you're right. We had just started the dueling pianos, and I think the interview was about 2011. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a few years. So we were just kind of comparing and contrasting to that what's been going on today. And you've developed new acts, I think, and are working with some others, and we'll be talking a little bit about that. But one of the main reasons that you are here today, and of course a lot of that we'll be talking about, is the Tour for the Cure.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about how this came into being.
Well, the Tour for the Cure came into being, I guess, out of tragedy. Last year, our Birdland family lost some very dear friends of ours, and it was they were devastating losses. There was one fella as robust as you and me, and he was diagnosed in January, and he passed away just a few months later. And it was, I mean, as anybody knows, it's bone-numbing to lose a family member, and especially something so, to see somebody diminish so quickly, and he was so loved.
Yeah.
And so we, as a company, decided to, we gathered up our staff, our entertainers. We run a booking agency now, and we book out to fairs and festivals and clubs all over the place.
Okay.
And we gathered up our entertainers and made a decision that this year and next we're going to donate and dedicate to cancer research. So we're raising money with the Tour for the Cure, and we took our top 3 acts. We developed 2-hour programs with all of them. They're ticketed events, and we're sending them all over America.
Oh my gosh, okay. And it's going well so far. You've been emailing, sending letters, whatever you can to get a hold of people and letting them know.
Thousands of calls.
What is going on.
Yep, I get up in the morning and I start making calls east, and then I end up in the evening making calls to the west. It's our goal to have every available day booked up with one of our 4 shows now.
Okay. And the tragedy that this came out of was loss to cancer, primarily?
Yes, these were all cancer-related losses.
Cancer-related losses. And so we're going to hear where some of the money is going to. But let's talk about the acts. We've got 4 different acts that are actually headlining this whole Tour for the Cure, and they are, and just in a nutshell, kind of tell us a little bit about each.
In a nutshell, the dueling piano show called Mischief and Mayhem, Dueling Pianos on Steroids. The Fabulous Vegas Guys with a fella out of Chicago.
Okay.
He's a nationally known comedian. He won Ed McMahon's Next Big Star on TV. He's been on HBO and Comedy Central and a bunch of different national TV appearances. Very funny, very talented. His name is Don Tersini. He's one of the 2 Fabulous Vegas Guys.
Okay.
And it's a Vegas-style stage show.
Okay.
And the 3rd show is with a magnificent group out of the Twin Cities called Function Junction, and the show was written and built just for the tour called the Motown Experience.
Woo!
Now, what they're going to take,
I love it.
What they're going to do is they're going to take you through the history of Motown, with the stories, the personalities, the tragedies, the bands, the acts, and of course they're going to sing all the great music.
Fascinating. It really is a little capsule of time that was really fascinating in our history.
And it is the Motown experience, so you get the whole feel. And the final one, we just added this, and we're so excited to have a powerhouse band and now national recording artist, Arch Allies, on board to be part of the tour. We had talked to them, and we just kind of finished wrapping up the negotiations to get them on board. And I think we have our first tour date, but I can't announce it yet.
Okay.
But these guys are amazing. They tour all over America. They're one of the best at what they do. They do Journey and Styx and REO Speedwagon as the bands, as a tribute band.
Okay.
And so those are the 4 acts that we're sending out all over the place, and we're having great success sending them. We've been making calls down to Texas and over to Vegas. And I was just on the phone last night with some folks in LA to try to get them out there in November.
All right. And you have tour shows all the way from northern Minnesota to where?
Yeah, so far International Falls is the most northern place, and it
hopefully not in the winter.
Actually, it's just getting to the winter.
Okay.
We have 2 shows up there, and if for no other reason, just because it's the southernmost spot that we could find in Brownsville, Texas. We haven't booked it yet, but we're negotiating a couple shows there.
Okay.
But so far, we've got shows locked in down to Kansas.
Okay, all right.
And as far over as Michigan.
Let's talk about some of the ones that that are booked and locked in and that will be coming up that folks around here might be able to attend. Are we looking at some of the closer ones here?
Yeah, since this isn't Rochester today or Peoria today, this is Owatonna today. We have shows right here in Owatonna, Saturday, August 9th at the Trinity Lutheran Church. That's the Motown Experience.
Fun.
Also in Owatonna, Saturday, October 25th, with the Mischief and Mayhem Dueling Pianos on Steroids show.
Okay.
We also got shows in Blooming Prairie and Waseca coming up this year with the Fabulous Vegas guys and Mischief and Mayhem.
So we'll be seeing and hearing more about those, and I know here on the Owatonna Today Show we'll be announcing those that you send to us and that we can let people know about that are close by to take advantage of this. So let's talk about how the money is raised. How, where is that coming from? You've got these great shows, you've got these great acts. People are obviously buying tickets to the shows.
Yes.
And then the money is going to lots of great causes. Let's talk about that aspect.
Yeah, we've the money that we raise, they're ticketed shows. All the tickets are $20.
Okay.
And roughly half of what we make this entire year, we're going to send off to one fund or another. We're going to be sending money to the Eagles Cancer Telethon.
Okay.
We're going to be sending money to the American Cancer Society. And in different communities around the Midwest, we negotiate kind of different deals with some of them. We're going to be helping build a brand new cancer facility in Pontiac, Illinois. We're doing 4 shows out there, and we're going to be raising thousands and thousands of dollars to help them break ground. They already have everything in place. They just need the money. So we're going to donate all our money for those particular shows and keep them in Pontiac.
Okay.
And families in crisis, basically, we want to raise as much as we can and help as many people as we can this year.
As you can. I see Relays for Life on there
Relays
as
for
well
Life,
in the various communities that you're in, all revolving around cancer in many forms and obviously tragic situations for some families. And so wonderful to see it. It sounds very, very exciting. The shows sound amazing. Want to talk about these as a family event? Is everything okay for the whole family? We're talking about the Motown experience and everything, or
every show.
Do we dare bring kids and grandma?
Every show, including the dueling piano show. Our kid and grandma safe. They're corporate clean. We want families out there. We want to bring everybody, bring the whole crew, because cancer doesn't affect mom and dad. No. It affects mom and dad and the kids and the neighbors and grandma and grandpa. It affects everybody. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a family out there or a person out there that hasn't been affected in one way or another by cancer.
Isn't that the truth, though?
It is universal. And we're not going to cure cancer by doing shows. We're not going to cure cancer by making people smile or dance. We're not. But what we can do with this tour is raise the money and get it to the people who can.
Yes.
And that's why we're doing it.
Exactly. I like your tagline. Let's see if we can say it. We have it's called Kicking Cancer's Butt, one smile at a time.
Darn right. Yep.
And that's family friendly enough. We see way worse things on primetime TV, and not that I love it, but that is the case. So you're definitely out there trying to give it to the old cancer and providing some great entertainment in the meantime.
Well, we've been very aggressive about marketing the show. So far, we have 45 committed shows. I had kind of a gentle goal of getting 20 shows, and that came and went so quickly.
Good for you.
We got 44 shows committed. We have about another 15 to 20 that are just looking for dates and trying to pick things out. So we're going to probably go over 60 shows this year, and we're going to raise in the neighborhood of $100,000 for cancer research.
Well, I know we would love to hear updates as they come in. If you can provide anything along the way as the shows are happening, as you know, if you want to say, here's where we're at and here's what we're doing with it, and certainly toward the end, or if we can get you on for an update at some point to see exactly how things are going. But
sure. Well,
please keep providing us with the local shows as well.
I'll make a gratuitous plug then. Go to www.birdland-music.com. You can find out more information about the tour, where we're going to be, what times we're going to be, how close we are. So I really appreciate the time and to be able to come on to this great show again.
Yep, and I do know we've got Birdland Music information on there, phone call. You know, if someone is interested, here you've been out making those phone calls, but if they're interested in booking or just finding out about how things are going or the acts, like you said, anything about it, they can find on that birdland-music.com.
Yep, and we're a booking agency. We do all sorts of shows, so if you have a wedding coming up, give us a call.
So even outside of Tour for the Cure, there you go. Yes. You get a plug because you're on here doing such a great thing, Jonny. Thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck as this really gets underway, and good for you, and we hope for wild success.
Thank you.
All right, Jonny, thanks so much. We'll take a break, and then we'll be right back to wrap up.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
A few announcements to wrap up this program on Friday, May 30th. Smokin' and Steel is starting today. There's a lot of things going on here in Owatonna, Minnesota. There's great music. There's the fabulous love handles. There's all sorts of things going on. I think all of this is happening at the Steele County Fairgrounds. Pancake breakfast, June 1st. Things are happening at the beer gardens. Just head for their website. Again, this is going to be a really good way to find out more information. www.smokininsteel.com, all spelled out, and you will find out a lot of great sponsors and a lot of great things as we have seen from year to year. If you're wondering what it's worth, you think you may have an antique in your midst, Mark Moran will be at Senior Place this coming Saturday, May 31st, tomorrow, from 10 to 1 for antique and collectible appraisals. There is a $15 per item appraisal fee, and a portion of those appraisal fees will be donated to Senior Place. So if you think you have something that's worth checking out, head to Senior Place and see, and that's tomorrow. Coming up on next week's programs, among other things, the Harry Wenger Marching Band Festival, Relay for Life, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition. You have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.